Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of my very long hair loss journey. Um, welcome back. Let's get on with it. So in this part I'm going to look at hair loss, its impact on mental health, potential causes that may have affected my hair loss, the options that I could have had, or can and do have, and then my ultimate decision. So in regards to mental health, like I kind of mentioned in some of the slides, the anxieties that you go through just from normal things, whether it's the weather, the wind, it can be rain. If I'm on a night out and it's a windy night and I'm day drinking, the effect that can have on my hair, especially if it's kind of long and it can blow up, it's just, you're so conscious and aware that people are staring. Especially if it rains, where the hair will clump together and you go into the next bar, you can see people's eyes look up at the gaps in your head. Not because, out of spite or being mean or anything, it's just a natural reaction. It's like if you had a cockroach crawling on your head and you didn't realise and look up at it. It's just what people do. But these little things really do affect you as you're walking around, and it's not a nice feeling. You can be the most confident person in the world, and things like this can still bring you down and affect you in the day. And so this leads you on to something like, obviously people think, it's very egotistical. You can't think about yourself that way. But everyone thinks that how attractive they are. Everyone does. It's just the thing, whether you are or you're not, everyone thinks about it. Especially with all your Instagrams and your magazines and your movie stars and your athletes, and it's just constantly bombarded. And when you have something like balding, people don't associate balding with attractiveness. It's just not a thing. And I know the examples that people give is like, you've got here we go, The Rock, Wayne Johnson, who else? I have to think. Who else? The Rock, yeah. People think of him. Bruce Willis, I don't think anyone thinks of him. Oh, he is a great, yeah. What's his name again? Jason Statham. Like these examples, The Rock, Jason Statham, a couple of others, these are all the examples people give, but like these people are successful millionaires who've got everything going for them. And even The Rock had hair before he went bald, and he was already successful at that happened, so it's always a poor example to give. And I know a lot of people say like, you just buzz it off. Joe Rogan even says how if he knew what he knew today, he would have buzzed it off ages ago. And you think that's easy to say when you're in such a comfortable situation where you have a wife and kids and you got abundance of fucking money, and you just think it's not. You can't say that, because there are so many things. The reason why people don't shave, you're clinging on to your hair as long as you can because that's what you associate with how you look and what other people think of what you look like, and it's hard. And said, like, say you look older, and that's not something many people want to do. And so in regards to what I think were causes for me, nutrition, as I said before, I have an allergy to eggs, and I used to have a high sensitivity to fish, so a lot of the oils, omegas and vitamins and whatever, I felt like I was missing from that could have become a factor as I was growing up. In regards to my skin, which in regards to the scalp, in regards to maybe dandruffs, things like that. Obviously when I got to like 16, 17, I then peroxide my hair, and I do believe that was probably the biggest impact on what I kept referring to as this little blonde halo when I was a kid, but that outlines my widow's peak. That could have easily basically burnt away, damaged the hair follicles there, I believe. I may be wrong, some scientist wants to tell me, but I mean, it was short to show that after done all that, when I cut my hair for the first time, that all of a sudden there's a widow's peak. But, could be wrong. And then obviously diet and stress, especially in that second year of university. I was very aware that the top of my head had thinned out quite a lot. And then obviously genetics. My dad has got thin hair, but he's obviously in his 60s now. So it's not I almost have less hair than my dad, and I'm not even half his age. On my mum's side, I have an uncle who actually is very similar to me at the minute. And like I said, he's no young buck. And so obviously genetics play a huge role, and it's obviously impacted me in regards to that. And 80% of men are going to experience hair loss anyway. Whether that's a small amount, whether it's a bit receding, whether it's a patch on the back, whether it's a little bit of thinning, it doesn't matter how much of it happens or how little of it happens, but most men are going to experience it. Unfortunately, some experience it a lot earlier in life and a lot heavier. So my options. So in regards to my options, I can take medicines prescribed by doctors, finasteride. But the problem with this is the effects. It's effects that I don't want. It can really affect your sex drive. Your dick might not work or something. And coming from a 29-year-old male who is currently single, that's something that I don't want. Why would I want her and then not be able to actually do anything with someone that I might have attracted because I have hair? You know what I mean? To me, it's just a bit of a catch-22, more of a paradox. So that's, for me, not an option. The shampoos, the DHT blockers, for me, again, it's just, I've tried them for a long time, loads of different ones. I haven't gone for the Regain, Rogaine, minoxidils because I've seen so many reviews about how basically, one, it's made it worse and it's completely dried the scalp, and that's not something I want to chance. The wigs, I've seen many of these on the internet. I think they look amazing, in fact, where they shave that top of the scalp and they put a wig on it and it's cutting and styling, it looks real, and I think that's amazing. But the thing is, like, again, it's similar to the medicines. If you end up pulling a girl or a boy, whatever you're into, and they see you for your hair, and then you take it off, it's a very difficult thing to do. To be comfortable with saying I'm bald as fuck. Do you like this? And they're like, no, fucking hell, I thought you had full head of hair. Can you go swimming? I don't know. So these are things I think I'm not doing that. And like I said, there's a lot of taboos when it comes to this sort of stuff for men. Like, if I wore a wig, like I said, I've been working on building sites for a long time, I'm just going to have the piss taken right out of me. A lot of people notice that I'm wearing a wig. So it's not a good option for me, personally. Wool fibre powders. These are the little powders that you spray on top to kind of fill in gaps. Again, it's not going to do anything for me. A hair transplant is obviously the big one that everyone talks about, but the issue I have with that is, one, I can't afford it. I can't afford to have a hair transplant. But two, it might not even work. They might not work. You can have it working for a little bit, but it just doesn't take, and then essentially you're back where you are, but with less money in your pocket. And for me, although if I won the lottery, don't get me wrong, I'd be jumping on a plane to Turkey. Hell, if I had the lottery, I'd be going into Manchester. Someone do this to me now. I mean, but there's huge taboos on that. Someone like Wayne Rooney's had it done. The piss he got taken out of him for that is unbelievable. And this is a guy who's in front of cameras all day, every day. He's obviously very conscious that everyone's watching him all the time, looking down on him, watching playing football, and then his hair is exposed and he doesn't want that. He was only young as well. And he's a guy with a load of money, got the piss took out of him. So, having someone like myself, it's just not, at the minute, a viable option. So I've kind of gone for the last option, which is try and get hench as fuck, but shave your head. Now, the problem is, I have a lot of reservations about shaving my head, which I haven't done it. The reason why I haven't done it. And I'm going to look much older than I feel or am. I don't want to look like I'm 36 or older. It's not a midlife crisis thing, because if I had hair, I'd be absolutely fine. I wouldn't be in this sort of situation. It's just a hair life crisis, I suppose. And when I shave my head, I'm gonna feel like I've had a bit of identity loss. You saw the phase I went through where I was like an emo and seeing with all this hair and different colours and beards and all sorts. And for a long time with my family, people used to always say, like, oh, Jack, every time we see you, you look so different. And I used to love that. But now if I obviously shave my head, that's gone. I'm going to look like another bald guy, whether I have a beard or not, And then the head shape. Not everyone suits a shaved head. And I feel like I really feel like I'm going to be one of those people. You can see in these photos, I've got a bit of a bulb head, big nose, big forehead, which doesn't help. If you have a small forehead and shaved head, it doesn't seem as bad. But I feel like if I do, it's just going to be never ending. You just keep going back and you just have this huge forehead, and it's not something I want either. And like I said before, there's not a lot of people I really know with the whole shaved head thing. I can think of one person who has. He's a big guy. Looks good with it. I can think of another guy who's probably in a very similar situation to me, where on the sides it's healthy, but the top it's not happening. So yeah, I feel quite alone with this. Again, and then there's, why am I having reservations? What's the issue? People do it all the time. Currently, there's people doing an Instagram challenge for the COVID-19 for NHS charities, which is fantastic. Shave your head, give your money to the charities. Fantastic cause. But for a lot of lads that are doing this, the hair's going to grow back fine. These are the lads that you can see that have perfect hairline. Well, not perfect, but you can see the hairlines. You can see where the hair's going to grow back. If I do it, you're going to see a lot of hair loss, and it's something that once I've done it, it's, I'm not going to be bringing it back. Well, I might not be bringing it back. So that's kind of where I am, my mindset going into this. I could keep going along trying to cover it up as long as I can. I mean, I could try and save up a load of money and go for that hair transplant. But that only kind of gives you maybe another 5 years. If that's if it takes, maybe. Which, I'll be honest, I think that's fine. I'll have another 5 years. I wouldn't mind going bald in my 35. Not when I'm 29. And like I said, this has been a long journey. I've noticed myself baldings for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. It's been subtle. It's maybe not as big as other people, but it's been something on my mind a lot. But this is the next step I have to take now, and it's not an easy one. So, yeah. Next time you'll see me, I'll be showing you a bit more of my hair and why it really looks, to me, bad. And then I'll be getting rid of it. So, see you then. Thanks for watching the first 2 parts of the hair loss journey videos. The first video, I know there's a lot of talk, and I know it was all over the place, and probably raises more questions than it does answers. But I just thought I'd give you a brief overview of what the fuck was going on for me. I just noticed I'm in different clothes at the minute, because I keep remembering I have to do things for the end of these videos and that now. But thanks for watching that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. For the second part, the second video, the third and fourth part, I'll have a link in the bottom, or yeah, you'll be able to find it on my page anyway. Thanks.